Is there a sound effect this morning? I don't know. I woke up late and one of my housemates came by this morning. So it's 8:41 and I'm just starting now. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends. Fan on in the window. Door propped open. Cat always going for the bloody door. Driving me crazy. But the door's open downstairs and it's already warm this morning. So yay. And it's quiet now, but at about 7 o'clock they started construction outside on the streets. Thumbs up for that. Yay. Past that, it is definitely a morning. I got to bed late. I woke up at 5, rolled back over and said, no, that's too early. Woke back up at around 7:40. So, yay! Hopefully your day is going well. My day is definitely a day so far. Couple of the things I wanted to talk about. All of them extremely minor. Like this one. A little bit ago, I talked about there was a comic book series called Solar Man of the Atom. And this was like back in the 90s. It was done by Jim Shooter, the editor of Marvel. And they had a 2-panel series in the midst of all of this. A two-page panel at the end of the first 10 episodes. And it was really good, this entire thing. I mean, it's a comic book. You know, it's introducing a comic book universe. But this character, the entire story is amazing and intense. And when you start to get close to the end, where you're learning about what happened and how there's been like a disaster and the previous world of this doctor had been destroyed by this reactor, and then the 10th episode comes. There's nothing. This is a black cover. It is, you can't see it here, but it is embossed with, actually, Solar, Man of the Atom, on the cover. All the information is there, but it's black. Why is it black? This is the episode where the black hole destroys the world again. Kills everyone again. And when you open this up and put all of the 2-page spreads down on the ground, it forms a gigantic panel of the black hole destroying the world. It is an intense comic book series, and it came out in like the early 90s. So it's rather intense. I've been doing a lot of work in my room, throwing a lot of stuff out. I have gotten rid of a ton of my previous life, and most of my things are in boxes in my bedroom now. There's 2 boxes left that I need to go through, and they are just stuff that from ADHD things, packing up things in here, throwing them into boxes in an effort to try and clean up. So I gotta go through those, and then I've gone through everything in my bedroom. There's still like 7 tubs worth of stuff. How much life is too much life? How many memories are too many memories? How much stuff should you have and should you not have? Is 7 tubs of my life too much? Because I still have the closet here and the stuff in here to go through, which includes all the stuff back there. And then all of my life will be in buckets. Now, I also wanted to talk about, I have mentioned that I was a family man. I was married in 2004. This was my family, with my wife, my 3 kids, me, and our dog. And that's all gone because in 2014, my wife died. And when this picture was taken, those 2 of our youngest are already in guardianship with my in-laws. We had this one, our oldest, living with us, and our dog. And that, if you look over here, she's on oxygen. She had to carry oxygen with her. And that was part of what went away a long time ago. Here's a picture of her and me and our dog. I look pretty different, don't I? Was between 240 and 290, going up and down my entire marriage. And boy, I had hair, a high hairline, because I was combing it straight back, and a beard, but the color was already starting to go. And that all went away when she started really dying, and then she died, and now I've been the last 10 years almost trying to recover from her death. I have been in mourning since she died. I have been grieving since she died. On top of the being on the autistic spectrum, on top of my ADHD, on top of my biochemical depression, on top of the social anxieties, on top of everything else, I have been dealing with the loss of my family since then. So yay! But life is good. I mean, it's gone. That's why I try not to look at too much of my stuff. All those people, the situation is different, the place is different, some of the people are dead. You can't recreate it, and it hurts to think about, except on my terms. I hate nostalgia. So thumbs up on that. Past that, I am really hurting. Oh boy, I got to start writing this before I go to bed at night, because I have been waking up and this shoulder is really, really hurting a lot, and it takes a long time before it really stops hurting. Why is it hurting so much? I'm boxing up my bedroom, and then I got a box up in here. What's it going to be like when I actually have to start moving the stuff? Bad. So thumbs up. Still though, you gotta do what you gotta do. Yay! I, last night, was not gonna go walkies. I was just going to do stuff back with boxes. But the night came by, and I wanted to get some stuff, so I said, you know what, I'll walk down to Safeway. So I walked to Safeway, and then I started walking past it, and I got a block past Safeway, and I went, what the heck am I doing? I am physically exhausted right now, because I was. I do not want to go walking to Walmart like this. What am I going to do, buy potato salad? Walk 6 miles exhausted for potato salad? I don't think so. And so I turned around, bought a little bit of stuff at Safeway, came on home. I was just physically exhausted. Quite terrible. Thumbs up for that. Yay. Still though, I got, like I said, I just had those 2 boxes to go through, and they are filled with junk. And when I say junk, I don't mean literal garbage or things that aren't important memory-wise. I mean, they're things like a box, not a box, but a container of like index cards, stuff like that. It's useful. Index cards are useful, but not exactly something that's important for my life at the moment. Sure, there's a game called Index Card Role-Playing Game, where the point of it is it's all, the information fits on an index card and such like that. A bit of something fell into my pen. But, even though it fits on an index card, it's like a 400-page role-playing book. That's one of the things, even now with a lot of role-playing games, that they're making third-party and such, even now. You'll find books and games that aren't that complex, but they're written like they used to be written back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And so it's a book that could be like a 50-pager, but it's 350 pages. Does it need to be 350 pages? Does it need a 2-3 page section on what is role-playing? Does it need a 5-page section describing all of the stats? I don't think so. Not after all this time. But there are a lot of books that are basically basic, but incredibly thick because of that. And yet you still have games like there's White Box, which is a hack of wizards and sorcery, but it's one book. And it's not even a big book, and it's like digest sized. So you can do it in a very, very small period. There are games out there full, like role-playing games, that are 2 sheets. So you don't need to have all that information. Thumbs up. Checking on my list to see what I have. Mostly it's just stuff that I went and erased off my list this morning. I didn't really do anything except watch videos, try to play games. I couldn't record my video yesterday, any kind of game video, because just the world, the pressures, everything happening, all what's going on with my neck, what's going on with my housing, what's going on with all of this, just so much I could not record. I couldn't even play things. Mostly with all the pressure, there comes times where I'm just sitting in silence trying to get things done, where it's just silent and I'm not doing much. I don't like that. I want to be doing constructive things. Life is hard. I could put my arms over this way, but that really hurts my shoulder to stretch it out this way. So, of course, I'm doing it because it may be a nerve thing and I don't want to irritate the nerve too much, but I also don't want to have loss of function because I'm not doing things. That's why when I'm out like shopping stuff, when I'm doing stuff, I do use this arm just a little bit, and then I'm doing everything else with this hand. So I've got a little bit of motion with this arm and then a great range around like this. I gotta stop doing that. I gotta use this arm more, use it or lose it. And I don't want to lose it. But also, I don't want to be bedridden because I wouldn't irritated the nerves too much. Past that, though, at 12 minutes and change, because my life is not all horrible, not all horrific, not all nightmarish, just most of it. I mean, I have honestly said, and I honestly mean this, I would not wish what has happened to me in my life on anybody. Starting with the SA and physical abuse as a child, where I was drinking alcohol before I was 10 years old from the pain, leading me to being a near functional alcoholic in high school. After high school, yeah, I was. I learned more drinking as I went through the Air Force, and when I got out, continued to do so until the year 2000 when I crashed and burned on the alcohol. I learned how to work in an office. I learned office skills. I was an office worker when I got out of the Air Force. I didn't go to college. I didn't have a degree. No one was going to hire me for an office. And so they didn't. I have no real skills beyond working in an office. And even at that, well, I mean, doing nurse's aide work. But at that point, I had only done working in an office, working with computers, working with office equipment, doing office stuff and customer support. And when I got out, there was no market for that again because no degree. So I have just been trying to survive as a nurse's aide until I literally broke myself and could not work starting in 2003. But my alcoholism continued through there, and I should have died in 2000. But I didn't, thankfully. My liver is still chugging away like it's over here, like an absolute trooper. It is fatty and fibrous. And yet, I suffer no ill issues because what's left of it is chugging along like a trooper. Thumbs up for that. I am very, very glad. But from 2000 on, yeah, I went immediately from alcohol rehab to getting married, and then my wife dying and losing my children, and then losing my home after my wife died because the bank took the house back, to moving into my brother-in-law's garage, to whatever reason I still don't know, him deciding I was evil, and then moving into here, and then it's all just been slowly falling apart since then. Yay! Thumbs up. Still, though, I have been trying to think about as much creative stuff as possible. I have been thinking about a lot of things, of my characters, my situations, stuff going on with the whole cosmic horror implosion thing, which I want it still to be in the same setting as everything else, like the Department of Government Resources that's also in Brookerton, that it is a accidental existential horror that nobody in the world realizes is there, because it is constantly trying to connect with everyone in the world. And if you know of the thing as more than just an abstract, if you know of the department as a concrete thing and not just, oh, there's a thing in Brookerton, it makes a connection with you. And if that connection becomes too blocked and too much interference by improper thoughts, like, gosh, there's something off about that building, you get what's known as a Dunning field generated inside of your brain. The Dunning field makes you forget everything that you are consciously thinking about according to that. The interference on the line clears up. You are just sort of in a happy trance for a while, and when you wake up out of that, you're going, oh boy, I spaced out, and everything you had been thinking about the department is gone. Nobody knows in the entire world that this thing is an existential horror. And it's not alive, it's just a mechanical thing that was created accidentally. So that's going on. And there's the big implosion thing going on with the whole cryptid world, the inside, outside, and of course the razor's edge, where I've been thinking about the peoples and the characters and the situations. Checking my time, it is 8:57. Holy smokes, 16 minutes in. So, and of course, I'm still thinking about Senator Jayne Klairn and the necropolis that he finds himself in after waking up. Because when he wakes up in his lich form, all of this just feels like he's Jayne Klairn. There's nothing holding the bones together, but it feels like, you feel. He can feel, and he can see, and he can hear, but he cannot taste, and he cannot smell. But looking around, of course, as he awakens in the darkness with a little bit of night vision, there's about a 10 or 15 foot circle around him that he can see dimly in complete darkness. But he wakes up there, pushes open a door, expecting to see the city outside, and yeah, it's the necropolis. The entire nation has become a necropolis. So I'm still working on his character and the world that he's living in. Because there are a lot of individuals that live within the necropolis. There are the dead that are still up and walking. There are the undead, of course. There are those who are alive but associated with the dead, like ghouls, those that eat the human dead. And then there are Senator Klairn's followers. Of course, there's also a scattering of, there's about 10,000 or 100,000 human beings still inside the nation, but their number is dwindling because with their veneration for and doing all this stuff and entombment and internment being looked on as good, the population is falling all the time. They're fixated on internment and the dead rather than surviving and living for the future. And so there's not a whole bunch, but I figured they discover a lot of these by, there are those that go out and get hedonistic pleasure by exploring. And I figure they go into this one catacomb choked with, human remains that have been put in there, that there would be like the equivalent of, Klairn would be able to feel this because of the burst of power being used, but it's like there's a huge roar and all of the bones and all of the equipment of those that went in to explore come bursting out, just like they were exploded out the front, along with that roar. Now, nobody's going to go in there and try to take out this monster because it lives there. That's its home. It's happy there. Just don't go in there to piss it off. Sure, Senator Klairn, with his body, could probably go in there and take it on and kill it. And, it'd be a hard fight. But why? That's its home. Don't invade its home. You'll be fine. And I've opened up 24 hours with the comments in my community tab. Going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. There are never many anymore, but anything more than 0 is awesome. Thank you so very, very much. Let me call up my Chrome. That's not my Chrome. Let me call up my Chrome. And we have Jesse Koskinen. Thumbs up. Thank you very, very much, and it is appreciated. Lost Legends. Greatly appreciated. Thumbs up and thank you. Queen Koopa. Doing my best and thank you. Larry from Space, good to see you in the comments. Thumbs up and thank you much. Chris, greatly appreciated. Thumbs up and thank you. We have Notesens. Notesens? Notisens? I don't know how to pronounce that, but thumbs up and thank you. And then we have Made in Canada, greatly appreciated. Thumbs up, thank you. Good to see you in the comments as well. And that is it. Thumbs up, thank you to the very few people who left me comments. I did appreciate it. Thumbs up and thank you much. Amelia, no. No, get away from the door. It's because of her that I can't prop the door open as much as I would like. It gets hotter in here than I would like because she is constantly trying to get out. For years, she has not. Now in the past month, she is constantly at that door. I can't prop it open more than a little bit or she knocks stuff down to get out. Right in the middle of this great amount of heat, when I need the air circulating, she makes sure I can't have circulating air. It's great. Still though, I'm going to do what I can do today. Hopefully you can do what you can do today. That would be very, very cool. Don't beat yourself up if you can't. No need to do that, and it won't help you get it done better next time. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very, very good thing. And now, tugging obsessively on my shirt, and turning this on, so I can turn this all off, putting my hand in the proper highest contrast area. You take care, and I will see you on the flip side.